People of Reddit, what is your opinion on dating smokers? No, it's gross. The smell gets in everything: clothes, hair, car, breath. Everything smells like stale, crusty smoke. No thanks. It really does. The smell is disgusting. Not at all a feeling I should be associating with a partner. I won't date a smoker, not even a social smoker. Turns my stomach. An ex of mine was a smoker, still is. Has anyone tried kissing a smoker right after they've smoked? Literally turned my stomach and I had to suppress a gag. Refused to ever do it again. To be fair, my ex was always courteous and made sure to have some time to pass and chew gum before kissing me afterwards, but it's still such a gross stench if he smoked near me or in the car. What made me swear off smokers wasn't just that. It's because my ex would get antsy and frustrated if he wanted to smoke but couldn't for whatever reason. He wouldn't even really notice how snappy he'd be getting until he either got to smoke or he got angry enough over trivial stuff he normally wouldn't care about. If it were only a couple times, I wouldn't care, but it was constant over the years, and yeah, addiction sucks. I choose not to have to deal with that in my life ever again. Once you quit, you realize how nasty that smell is. I was just going to say this: I'm a former smoker and the stale stink of it is so disgusting. I'm ashamed to think of how I must have stunk. What's interesting is how ex-smokers are around any hint of cigarette smell. They seem to be able to detect the slightest scent of it. That's very true. It could be outside and I can pick up a freshly lit one. I'm a non-smoker and I've dated 3 smokers in the past, and the smell never bothered me. What bothers me was the frequent need to stop what we were doing so they could go outside and smoke. And the level of angst and irritation when they can't have it right now. Pausing movies, games, mid-dinner, mid-conversation, after middle of the night, first thing in the morning. And also being stuck in the car with it when I don't want secondhand. My dad and all my uncles were smokers, so the smell actually doesn't bother me and is oddly nostalgic. It's everything else around it I hate. I couldn't often detect the smell on their clothes or hair, and I never saw any benefit to nagging my partner about it. Everyone chooses their poison in life, but I have yet to meet a smoker who doesn't have some significant emotional baggage, just like with heavy drinkers. But there's always something a little heavier than the run-of-the-mill trauma, which is why I often see the smoking and drinking combined. Yep, even if they smoke outside, you will still be able to smell it on their hair, breath, clothes. No thanks. Not to say it triggers my asthma, I'm sorry, but no one's duck is that magical that I'm willing to risk my life for it, LOL. Even smokers who think they don't smell absolutely still do. And their skin, I have an ex and his body odor was so gross in the morning, I feel like it just changes their chemical makeup. I'm leaving the smoking guys for the smoking gals. I can't handle the smell. As a smoking gal, completely fair. I know smokers who won't date other smokers because they know that would make them smoke even more. They think that dating a non-smoker might encourage them to quit, even though that's never actually happened. Seems like a big waste of everyone's time to me. Edit: I meant it never happened to these specific people I know. If it's happened to you, then kudos. It has actually happened. My fiance quit after we started dating. It has. Actually, my ex-GF gave me the "I don't kiss smokers" ultimatum and I quit right then and there. I have dated a smoker and I would date a smoker again. Not a deal breaker to me at all. If I meet a man knowing he uses tobacco, then it's up to him if he wants to quit. I was okay with it going in and don't have the right to judge him. Pot, yes. Cigarettes, no. Exactly. No. I can't run the risk of me or any future children getting sick from secondhand smoke. I also don't want kids getting bullied at school because they smell like cigarettes. Plus, I used to work in a nursing home and a ridiculous amount of my stroke patients were lifelong smokers. Used to have to sit in the back cause our bus drivers said we reeked of smoke. Our parents smoked 24/7 in the house, car, etc. We used to spray ourselves with Febreze before leaving the house for school. Not cool. When I was in grade school, a girl I was talking to asked me if I smoked. I was in like 5th grade, I think. I said no. Why? And she said she could smell it on my breath. My mom and dad both smoked in the house. It was embarrassing. Really bad for pets too. This is so rarely mentioned. I only smoke weed, but it is designated to one room in my house and my cat isn't allowed in there while anyone is smoking. I knew a lady that died from lung cancer years ago. She was the only one who... When we were 9 or 10, my cousin announced to a whole room of girls at her sleepover that no one wanted to sleep by me because I smelled like smoke. It was mortifying. My parents were smokers, and in primary school we had a homework book, and it smelled of smoke. One teacher thought I smoked. Nope, it was my parents. They didn't know though. I always thought it would be, but I'm dating a smoker now, and all the good stuff honestly outweighs it for me. Same so far me. It was always an instant pass, but I felt is worth it. Only he can quit, and he knows my opinion. That was the thing for me too. My ex smoked, but I loved him. I am a flawed human, and so is he. I don't like the smell, but that's why he only smoked outside and in his own car when I wasn't around. That is his decision as an adult. We did eventually have a discussion on whether he wanted to quit. He did. We picked a date together for accountability, and he switched to vaping for the most part. I'm not anti-smoker as such, but the thing I find is what a massive waste of time it is. Interrupted activities so they can go smoke, waiting in the car park to go places so they can smoke before. Constantly having to wait for them to finish smoking, it does my head in. Not a deal breaker, but not ideal either. Being an ex-smoker, I'm oddly conflicted about it. LOL. I have sympathy for those who are addicted. Just because they are addicted to nicotine doesn't mean they are bad people or would be a bad partner. As long as they were respectful about it, like keeping it outside and stuff like that, then I don't see it as so much of a problem. Most of them don't really want to be smoking either. Maybe some support could help them to kick it. Not a deal breaker at all for me. Maybe I grew up poor and I actually like the smell of cigarettes. I do encourage the partner to quit on their own time though. I also like the smell of tobacco. Some weird memories for me, I think. Most people are talking about the smell and the way it affects your lungs and life. Smoking is also an expensive habit over time. When I first started smoking, cigarettes were $11 for a pack of 20. Then it became $14, and I think I've seen it go as high as $18. $18 for a pack of 20 that a regular smoker could finish in 3 to 5 days. That money adds up when you're broke and trying to cut costs. A smoker is a financial liability. The financial aspect of it was also a large part of what helped me quit. $74 for a carton of Marlboro in Golden Co. I would not care. It is his body, as long as he does not smoke me in the face, and I would not say you like the person if you want to control if they smoke or not. If I said you are not allowed to smoke, he could tell me you are not allowed to get more piercings. If he did not like that, it would just be an ongoing conflict with no winner. And you cannot make one stop. They need to make the choice themselves, otherwise they will just smoke in secret. It used to be a massive deal breaker for me, but if you find a smoker who can respect the fact that you can't stand the smell, you'll be fine. My boyfriend used to smoke, and when he did, he'd only do it outside and not in front of or around me, and keep gum mints and spray on him most of the time so the smell wouldn't be as prominent. I was recently a smoker, and I know how hard it is to quit, so I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. Granted, some people don't want to quit, and that I can be a bit iffy with, but hey, at the end of the day, it's their life, not mine. I'm less likely to date someone who vapes. TBH, it's all lame. My BF used to smoke when we started dating. I told him I don't like smokers and am uncomfortable whenever he smokes, but I'm not gonna stop him from doing it. I asked him to just don't do it in front of me and to not smell like cigarette smoke when we're together. He quit smoking for me. Lit up one last cigarette, and after he finished it, he threw the rest of the pack away. He's never smoked ever since. When I met my current partner, he smoked a pack to 2 a day. A few months and he needed dental surgery, so he had to quit, and he just never went back over a year later. He's happy about it, as am I, for the health benefits. I mean, if I really like a person and accept them for who they are, it would be hypocritical to tell them stop smoking or not hanging out with them just because of that. At the end of the day, I'm falling for somebody's mind and character. I'd be their biggest supporter if they wanted to quit, but don't think it would be a deal breaker for me personally. Pot over ciggies though, any day. I mean, yeah, if they smoke only cigarettes, nothing else. However, I would love them to stop smoking, but I can't reject people just because of this habit. I'm a smoker, and I come from a family of smokers. My partner doesn't smoke. I smoke outside. I can still smell the old smoke on my coat the day before. It stinks. It's a horrible habit, and I wish I had never started. That said, I'm probably never going to quit. It's my escape. I don't drink, and I eat edibles mainly. If my partner and I broke up, I'd probably only date an outside smoker, which is hard to find. I don't want my house to smell like an old ashtray. Me and my wife smoked for 10 years together. Then one day doctor tell me I will lose my legs and hands due to diabetes and smoking complications if I don't stop smoking. I tried quitting for years. Could not and blame my wife for smoking and not helping me quit. I was wrong to blame her, I know. So one day she went cold turkey not only on cigarettes but also wine and alcohol in general. I mean, she gave cold turkey a new meaning, LOL. It took me about another 6 months, but I ended up quitting myself thanks for an amazing wife and support system from my doctor and friends. It has been 6 years, 4 months, 25 days, 5 hours, and 21 minutes since my last cigarette, and I've saved $35,088.97. I have not smoked 140,355 cigarettes and 1.4 kilograms of tar. Now I can't stand the smell of smoke. It's disgusting, will never back, and don't like being around people that smoke.